FBI agents say the Louisiana man they arrested for allegedly planning an attack may have been targeting ICE agents. Good afternoon, I'm Lauren McCoy.
And I'm Meg Gatto. The man was from New Iberia, and court records show he was arrested on his way to New Orleans.
A newly unsealed criminal complaint says Michael James Legnon is suspected to be associated with the members of the Turtle Island Liberation Front. According to the FBI, the organization is an anti-capitalist, anti-government movement. This image included in the complaint came from the group's Instagram page. The complaint alleges Legnon intended to travel to New Orleans to carry out an attack. He allegedly shared posts of Border Patrol removing a person from a rooftop in Kenner.
It seems as if his ire was pointed at ICE agents for what they're doing in this area right now.
Last Friday, the FBI executed a search warrant on Legnon's residence, and the complaint says agents found sniper training manuals, assault rifles, and ammunition. Legnon is a former Marine. That same day, Legnon was stopped on Highway 90 heading toward New Orleans.
I think it's pretty obvious the reason they moved quickly is because they saw a guy loading up body armor and lethal weapons and said he's heading to New Orleans.
The complaint alleges Legnon posted this message in a Signal group chat before his arrest, saying, "On my way to NOLA now. I'll be there in about 2 hours." According to court documents, the FBI was watching Legnon because of his alleged affiliation with individuals plotting a bombing in Los Angeles. He was mentioned, although not named, during an FBI press conference Monday, which detailed the arrest of 4 members of an alleged terrorist organization in connection with an alleged planned attack on New Year's Eve in L.A. Legnon now faces a charge of threats in interstate commerce. Reacting to the news of his arrest, Senator Bill Cassidy says while details are limited, one thing is for sure.
All I can say is thank God for the FBI and other intelligence services keeping us safe.
A former classmate describes Micah Legnon as an outcast.